Hello, and welcome to another edition of One Bad Veggies Root Beer Review, where in this review we find out if this root beer actually follows the technical definition of Robusto, which means strong, and also chunky. I hope it's not chunky. So in this review, we're doing Caruso's Legacy Robusto Root Beer, which it is a re-review. I've already had this one before, and I actually took the time out to go ahead and take a look at the previous review just to see what I thought of it before, and it actually got a pretty high review previously. Though I will say, and I'll talk about this as the review goes on, I did notice that there are some pretty big differences between what I had in the past and what the root beer is now. And I'm curious to see what it does to the flavor technically. So, but let's go ahead and just start off with the ingredients. All right, let's go ahead and get into the ingredients, which should start appearing right here. And as you can see, it is a pretty large list of ingredients. And I just wanted to go ahead and talk about how when I was looking at the previous review has the old ingredients that were in the bottle when I first started, the first time that I reviewed it, which include the carbonated filtered water. It said pure cane sugar instead of just sugar. And then it went caramel color, natural and artificial flavors, and then maltodextrin. Now, and on my understanding is that the more of something that is in a product, the higher it is on the list. So I find it interesting that now maltodextrin is higher than the caramel color and the natural and artificial flavors. And I believe that maltodextrin is a type of sugar. I want to say I've seen it on like cereal boxes and stuff like that in the past. So I think that's what that is. And then after that, it's the citric acid and the sodium benzoate, which, you know, and then you can see on the list. Let's go ahead and switch over to the bottle so you can get a good look at the bottle for now while I'm still talking. You can see on the list that you have gum arabic, you have phosphoric acid, you have propylene glycol alginate. Like, these are all things that weren't in the original bottle that I had in the past, and I'm curious to see how it changes the flavor. I know yucca extract usually has something to do with kind of like the fizziness, and then those other ones I believe are preservatives of some type. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at the bottle here. You can see here, you got the 100% Italian real sugar. You have who I'm assuming are the Carusos on the bottle here. And I will say that the original bottle really doesn't look any different. I was looking at a picture of it earlier. Actually, I still have it up right here. Honestly, the bottle is basically the same art that it used to be, except for that little sticker at the top that says, and I think there's a few other little things on the label. Like, it didn't used to say caffeine free. It didn't used to say real sugar or anything like that on it. It was, but otherwise, and I'm looking here too, it looks like maybe the picture of the Carusos was maybe a little bit bigger, like it was more like 50% like the picture of the Carusos, and where it says root beer on it. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting. Anyway, but yeah, so that's the ingredients. So let's go ahead and get into, let's crack it open and take a sniff. Now, I'm not sure I mentioned it before. I had given this a B in the past, which is a pretty high score, actually. Usually B means that it's like real kind of like top of the line root beer. It's not gonna blow your mind, but it's probably on like a level of like one of the best, you know, like, repeat myself ad nauseum. If it's an A, it's mind-blowing, just absolutely better than everything ever. If it's not that, then it's just a shade lower than that, just like very, very, very good, it's a B. So let's go ahead and take a sniff though. Sweet. It's very sweet smelling. Mostly just kind of a normal root beer sort of scent. No hidden kind of like sugar, vanilla, no kind of hidden anise, licorice kind of things. Just pretty basic. It's not bad. Definitely. Like, if you were to take a whiff of it and you enjoy root beer, then it smells good. So, but basic kind of root beer scent. Like just nothing stands out about it for the time being. So, let's go ahead and get into the pour and the foam. So here we are with the trustiest mug in all the land. We're gonna go ahead and test this one out. Let's see if it's photogenic. That's a good foam. That's a good foam. All right, let's go ahead and test it out real quick. All right, let's get a little taste of this. Interesting. Weird. It's kind of weird. There's a lot of flavor to it. I'm not gonna say it's a good flavor. Very weird. It's got a weird aftertaste. Now, a lot of people don't drink the foam and a lot of people aren't looking for it, but I always like to try the foam because sometimes it gives you an idea of what you're about to have. A lot of the hidden flavors are kind of found in the foam. In my opinion, I feel like a lot of like, if there is hints of other things, you find it in there. And that's one of the things that I really enjoy about it. When there is foam, you can see here the foam's still there, but it's dissipating quickly. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the taste test, and let's see if it still stacks up to being as good as I used to think it was, or who knows? My taste could have changed too, but let's see if it still is as good as I once thought it was. All right, let's go ahead and taste it, and of course, bottoms up. Now, again, like I said before, with the scent, it smelled very basic, was the word that I used. Very normal. And that's kind of like what I'm getting from this at the moment, is very just kind of normal, basic, root beer sort of flavors. And I think Titus is about to break in here. No, he's not. He can't get through the door. Anyway, normal, basic sort of flavors, and it not exactly blowing my mind. It is sweet. It is more on the side of the stuff that I do like. It's hard to really get into that. There is no bad aftertaste. I'll say that. In fact, I would say that the aftertaste is actually pretty pleasant. I was actually surprised because of how the foam tasted. I assumed that there would be some sort of bitter, strange aftertaste, especially with all the new chemicals and stuff in it and everything. I just didn't expect it to be as good as it once was. And I'm still not saying it is, but let's go ahead and get into the review and talk about it. So, like I said before, I've previously given this one a B. And I'm not giving it that this time. It's definitely a C though. It's definitely good. It's just very normal. And again, this is a case of where I don't know if my taste has changed, but it's not, there's nothing about it that's really like overly good. You know what I mean? You know, it definitely hits a lot of the things that I really like about a root beer. It's on the sweeter side. It's not a bad aftertaste, but there's no kind of creaminess to it. There's no kind of surprise to it. And it's just a very good, right in the middle root beer. I would never say anything to disparage someone from buying themselves a bottle of it, put it that way. But it's good. And not chunky. So yeah, C. So that's it for this review. And I'm gonna keep on trying to get back into some sort of schedule. You know, I had a friend the other day say, like, you know, don't worry about following a schedule because then it feels like work and you don't want it to feel like work. But, you know, it's nice to keep some sort of schedule. But in the meantime, this is just one of more that will happen over time. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, And as you can see in the background here, I've been doing all sorts of fun work with Gunpla. Hey, no, I won't show you, but you could see some models I'm working on in the back there, and all sorts of plastic and paper cutting materials and stuff in the background, because I'm weird and trying to keep things super organized for reasons that I cannot explain, other than, I don't know, some sort form of OCD or something like that. I'm not really sure. I've never been diagnosed. So yeah, that's basically it. And so I hope you had a good time.